Alright, hello to our lecturer, Dr. Anas. So we are from Group Stardust. Today we'll be talking about the discussion regarding our assignment. So first, we will talk a little bit about the background of the company we will be discussing about, which is Mesmerize Enterprise. So as you can see, about the background, a simple background is that Mesmerize Enterprise is an organization that sells household items, and he has set up the business, but the business has grew beyond expectation as she has sold her product using social media and using Shopee platforms to reach out to her customers. But currently, her company is requiring an immediate injection of funds to meet the growing demands of the customers. She has approached the banks to get the loans, but because of this, she still needs the assistance of an accounting expert to prepare the financial statement. So our group today, our discussion is about helping to prepare the financial statement. So first we will straight move to so this is the trial balance, and we will straight get into the first question. So Larania, I'll pass it to you.
It's about statement of profit or loss and the other comprehensive income. To find the profit or loss, we should sales minus by the operation expenses. And then the question B is about statement of changes in owner's equity, which is we should find the Tantari Ramlila's capital, and then we also need to find the net income of the year and minus by the withdrawals, and then we will get the increase in owner's equity. And after that, we should take the Tantari Ramli's capital and plus by the
Deshika, I think you can scroll towards you can scroll the thing you're presenting and show the amount so that the lecturer know what amount we are talking about. The scroll up a bit, the one got the unadjusted trial balance one.
Is that the answer? No.
No. Just scroll on top. Just scroll on top.
This one?
Yeah, this one. So that he will know, so that lecturer will know which amount you're talking about.
Okay.
So is your part done or?
And we will get the final answer, which is capital of Tantari Ramlila at the December 31, 2023.
Is that it?
Yes.
Okay. Right. So next I'll be talking about the financial position for Mesmerize Enterprise for the year ending 31 December 2023. So what am I gonna do at this part is we have the equation, which is asset equals liability plus equity. So in this statement we will need to balance it out, the equation. So Deshika, can you scroll back to the numbers again? Alright, so in assets, what I'm going to discuss about is we have two different type of assets, and we need to, in this statement, we will need to separate it both. We have non-current assets. As we can see on top, we have cash, accounts receivable, merchandise, inventory, office supplies. These are all under non-current assets. So first we are going to do the non-current assets first. Then after that, we will move on to current assets, which is we will talk about office equipment and delivery rent. But these two, they have accumulated depreciation value, so we will need to minus with it to get the value. So after that, we will add the non-current assets and the current assets to get our total assets value. So that is the top part done. So next it will be liability. So liability, there's actually two as well. We have non-liability and current liability. For the current liability, as we can see on the trial balance, we have accounts receivable, salaries payable, interest payable, and unearned revenue. As for the non-current liability, there's only one, which is notes payable. So we need to add all that up, then plus with our owner equity, which is the one which we have found on our which we have find it on our second statement just now, the own equity. And after that, we plus everything together. So we will get our financial position, and which is referring to the equation, which is asset equals liability plus equity. So that's all for my part.
The depreciation of office equipment and utility rent, uh, the net income is overstated. This is because since expenses are understated, net income is overstated. So for the assets are overstated. This is because depreciation leads the value of fixed assets to accumulated depreciation. So without the adjustment, the asset remains too high. So that is why assets are overstated. For liability, uh, it is correctly stated because depreciation does not affect liability. Expenses are understated because depreciation expense wasn't recorded, so total expense are understated. So moving on to question E, uh, unpaid salaries of 20,000. The assets are correctly stated. This is because salaries payable doesn't directly affect assets. For liabilities, it is understated. Unpaid salaries should be recorded as salaries payable. So without this, liabilities are understated. For expense, it is understated. This is because salaries expense wasn't recorded. So total expense are understated. While net income is overstated because understated expense leads to overstated income. For question C, available balance of office supplies are 300. The assets are overstated. This is because office supplies remaining in stock are 300 ringgit, but 4,000 is still recorded. This overstates the asset. For liability, it is correctly stated because no liabilities are affected, while for expense, it is understated. This is because the difference of uh, 4,000 minus 300, which is 3,200, should have been expensed as used supplies. Without this, expense are understated. For net income, it is overstated because since expense are understated, net income is overstated. For question D, unearned revenue 10,800. The assets are correctly stated. This is because unearned revenue doesn't affect assets. For liability, it is overstated. Unearned revenue is also liability of doing the business. If 7,800 is earned but not exhausted, liabilities are overstated. While for income, it is understated because revenue should have been recorded as income. Without this, revenue is understated. Finally, for net income, it is understated because since revenue is understated, net income is also understated.
For question F, the billing department forgot to send invoices to a customer for total. I'm sorry. For question E, a sum of 40,500 insurance has already expired, which is the assets are overstated because prepaid insurance includes the amounts for unexpired periods. If the amount has expired but remains recorded, assets are overstated. For the liability, it is correctly stated because insurance expense adjustment don't affect liabilities. For the expenses, it is understated because the expired portion wasn't recorded as an expense, understating total expenses. For the net income, it is overstated because understated expenses lead to overstated net income. For question F, it is unsent invoices to a customer for amount which is 24,400. The assets are understated because invoices represents account receivable which should be recorded as an asset. Without them, the assets are understated. For the liability, it is correctly stated because no liabilities are affected by unsent invoices. Um, wait, okay. Then for income, it is understated because sales revenue wasn't recorded for these invoices, so income is understated. For question G, interest revenue not recorded for 15,000 at 800 ringgit. For the asset, it is understated because accurate interest revenue represent an asset if unrecorded assets are understated. For the liability, it is correctly stated because interest revenue adjustments don't affect liabilities. For the income, it is understated because interest revenue wasn't recorded, understating total income. For the net income, understated because since income is understated, net income is also understated. For question H, which is the last question, for part B, suppliers invoices misread around 135,000. For the asset, it is correctly stated. Missing supplier invoices don't directly affect assets. For liabilities, it is understated, which is supplier invoices represent account payable. If missing, liabilities are understated. For expenses, it is understated. The cost of merchandise from the invoices wasn't recorded, so it is understating the expenses. Lastly, it is net income, which is overstated. Since expenses are understated, net income is overstated. That's all.
Part C is discuss the situation from accounting and business perspective, and is talk about the Tantra is want to opening more outlet as strategy location in the city, and he want to adopt new strategy to support the increased sales. And the question number one is the appropriate credit term to improve increase sales revenue, credit management, improve account receivable collection, and inventory management. And I choose the payment discount. This is because Masmara Enterprise may offer a 2% discount if the buyer make the payment within 10 days. Otherwise, the buyer will pay full amount within 30 days. For example, a customer buying 1,000 worth of the 10,000 worth of the goods can pay in 980 if they pay within 10 days by saving 20 while encourage quick cash inflow. And the second question is talk about the shipping term. My answer is use of FOB. There is free on board term. Under this term, the customer assume responsibility pay the shipping cost once goods are delivered. For example, customer will handle logistics after the goods leave the warehouse. This will reduce costs for Masmara Enterprise and encourage efficient inventory turnover. And that's all.
All right, I think that is it for our discussion. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.